Okay, we're talking today about unethical behavior of educators. This is first about social networking and state assessments. The first thing we're going to talk about is the Alabama Educator Code of Ethics. Standard 1 deals with professional conduct. An educator should demonstrate conduct that follows generally recognized professional standards. What is unethical conduct? According to the Alabama Educator Code of Ethics, this is when unethical conduct is any conduct that impairs the certificate holder's ability to function in his or her employment position, or a pattern of behavior that is detrimental to the health, welfare, discipline, or morals of our students. Standard 4 is teacher-student relationship. An educator should always maintain a professional relationship with all students, both in and outside of the classroom. It is unethical to solicit, encourage, or consummate an inappropriate written, verbal, or physical relationship with a student. And if you see, we have some pictures of social media that can cross the lines where teachers can use this. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. Social media. What is social media and how do teachers cross the line? We have some court cases that have teachers cross the line. Spiner versus Hughes. This is where a non-tenured teacher was non-renewed because of his behavior on social media. The behavior included befriending students and conducting non-school related conversations. Another instance was Snyder versus Milserville. This is where a student teacher at a high school was dismissed from student teaching and not allowed to graduate with a degree in education as a result of social media on MySpace. The student teacher violated university and school system regulations by encouraging students to become involved in personal life. The next case was Richardson versus Beckham. This is a teacher was demoted from a leadership position to a classroom teacher for posting negative comments pertaining to a colleague on social media. Things to remember when dealing with social media as an educator. A good rule of thumb related to social media is that when you post on social media, you have provided documented proof of exactly what you said. They have it in writing. Never post to social media during school time. Never use a school device to post something during your off hours. Resist the urge to comment or post frequently on social media. And always remember that once something is posted on the internet, it can't be taken back. Unethical behavior involving social media. This is inappropriate use of social media, particularly by young teachers. It's increasingly becoming seen as a precursor for perhaps more serious transgressions of behavior. We're seeing this more and more. This is an instance where an Alabama educator was found guilty of transmitting sexual text messages. Her name was Crystal Cloudis. When she was found guilty, she was a registered sex offender. She served a 10-year jail sentence, and she lost her teaching license. Some high-stakes testing. We're going to talk about assessments and where teachers have been found guilty of cheating on tests. Cheating of educators on state assessments. Educators can cheat on state assessments in several ways. This can involve disclosing information to or about students as it relates to the assessment. They can copy or distribute test information or answers, or they can teach the test items. This addresses Standard 8. This is maintenance of confidentiality. An educator should comply with federal and state laws and local school board policies relating to confidentiality of student and personnel records, the standardized test material, and other information covered by confidentiality agreements. Some examples of educators found guilty of cheating on state assessments was the Lake Wobegon effect. This happened in 87 and 89. Also Columbus, Ohio, after President Clinton Law School, the students claimed cheating. The New York City early cheating scandal may have been overblown. That happened in 99 and 2001. Also Chicago, the author catches cheating teachers. Birmingham, Alabama had an instance where school targeted students to withdraw before test. This happened in 2004. And Los Angeles had one where charter founder orchestrated cheating at 6 different schools. Educators must adhere to a high ethical standard. Ethical teachers have professionally appropriate relationships with their students. Ethical teachers foster academic integrity. A teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops. Quote by Henry Adams. Any questions? Discussion?
How do you handle an instance of inappropriate behavior on the part of a teacher?
I think if a teacher is faced with these dilemmas, they should lose their license and they should be punished according to their offense, what they did wrong. Whether it be the social media, they should be punished, whether it be demoted. And I think they should follow these rules that, are relate to their certificate.
How do you catch a teacher that cheats with the standardized test?
How do you catch them? Well, in the instance that I did research, they found the answers lying on the floor, but I think if your data isn't consistent and you see they made a big jump, I think it needs, researching or checking into why did they make such a drastic jump. It should be researched, investigated.
Atlanta had a big teacher cheating issue 2 years ago.
Atlanta,
Great cheese.
how did they prove it?
The documentation of their actual grades and what was in their folders and their coupons.